Khushbu Sundar, when you said that you were shocked rather when you saw how people were moving around in this blasé fashion. You are now member of the NCW. I want to ask you some very basic questions. Don't you think that our young girls really do not have confidence to go and talk to their family, to their mothers, aunts, sisters, school teacher, friends? Because now if you read the papers, बहुत कुछ आ रहा है, उसका इसके साथ भी affair था, अरे she was seeing him also. The easiest thing is to kind of.
Sudha, Sudha, I would like to ask them, who gives them the right to be so judgmental as to what the girl was about?
Exactly.
What was the character? That's
Yeah.
the first thing, character assassination, when you don't know the truth. We have something called the society, and we have a national, we have a network at the tip of our fingers. And the first thing we do is we become the judges of a situation. We do not find a solution. We just want to pass on a judgment. And that is what we are doing right now. 16-year-old kid. Her parents are there to ask her what she was doing, but nobody has the damn right to say what this girl was up to. Whatever she was, you have no right to character assassinate a 16-year-old girl or a 60-year-old woman. My question is, this man is sick. He needs to be punished. He needs to be taken away. But along with him, the bypassers, the bystanders who were mute spectators to this kind of a gruesome crime are also equally responsible for this crime to happen. What are we going to do about them? They are equally sick like this man. It's happening in front of your eyes, and you are walking away as if I have nothing to do with this. And that is what is extremely shocking. And that is where we have to raise questions. This is where we have to talk about the society we live in, as to what kind of society are we giving back to our children. The 16-year-old girl, probably she was not able to speak to her parents or to her friends or to the teachers or to go to the police station. We do not know. But then probably the reason being the kind of society we live in, the first thing her parents or her friends or somebody in the relatives, they would have said, अरे तुम जाके बोलोगी तो सबसे पहले तुम्हारे पर आएगा कि तुम क्या कर रही थी. ये लड़की गलत थी. इस लड़की ने किया क्या था, उस जो लड़के तक रात को 9 बजे लड़के से मिलने क्यों गई थी? Why did she go out to meet him? You immediately start, blaming the victim. You don't look into as to who the perpetrator is or who the culprit is. You immediately start going towards the victim and say, where did she go wrong? And it happens every time a woman is wronged, when a woman, whether she is sexually abused or she's raped or she has been, brutally murdered. We have seen many cases prior to this. And the society we are talking about, we went to the streets, whether it was Nirbhaya or any other Mattu case, we have gone to the streets. But it's the same society which we see are the mute spectators. They're just watching everything in horror. And I wouldn't even say horror, they're just walking away. कि यार I have nothing to do, तो मुझे लफड़े में नहीं पड़ना यार. मेरे घर का प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मेरी बेटी नहीं है, मेरी बहन नहीं है, मुझे लफड़े में नहीं पड़ना है, let me go away. I mean, that is what is most sickening, and that is what is more shocking to me, as to how can you just move away from something like this?
Right. So I'm going to ask you.
Why can't we as society, as people who actually are together from different strata, but we are together as who build the society, who make the society, who make this nation grow. Why can't we as citizens, all as humankind? यार रास्ते में कुत्ते को बिल्ली को मारते भी है तो we step in यार.
That's what Mr. Jain was saying.
मत करो.
मत मारो. Yes.
So what happened to the humankind? What happened to your sixth sense when it comes to another human? Is what my question is.
Right. So humanity, like Khushbu Sundar is saying, where is insaniyat? Where is the humanity gone? I think this case has really put that question right on top. And we took a very, very, tough stand that Delhi is dead towards its women, because it happens. We saw earlier the Shraddha Walker case. I mean, that gruesome, you cut her to pieces, put her, shove her into the fridge. We saw a young woman being dragged for miles and miles. We see this almost every day. And like Khushbu said and Mr. Jain said, that even when an animal is being hit, we stop and we say, what are you doing? Don't do it. Mr. Jain, I know that this is not a quick fix solution. It is not. But do you think that, it is not just the problem of the police, I mean, Mr. Jain, I am at a loss of words. What do you think is the way out? How do we bring all these agencies together so that we don't have this? Because women's organizations alone can't do it. You know, you're an ex-cop, but police महकमा भी अकेले कुछ नहीं कर सकता है. You know, what is the way out now? After this, will any lessons be learnt, Mr. Jain?
Actually, there was a concept of a beat constable. Beat constable was supposed to look after, say, a population of 500 or 700 and patrol the area, meet the local people, find out who are the loafers, who are the bad elements in the area, and pull them up. So that actually has disappeared completely from our police system in the country. We are still governed by 1861 Police Act, and that's the main problem. I have been talking about it at so many levels. So unless and until you have beat constables, you won't come to know if a terrorist is staying in some nearby house. He has to be in touch with the local people, and he should meet the local respectable people, who, either they are doctors or journalists or chartered accountants, lawyers. He should meet the local people. He or she should meet the local people and talk to them in confidence, and they should have enough confidence in that man. That is actually the lacking. People don't want to confide into police because they think that once they tell the police, it will reach the ears of the criminals and they will end up in problems. So that is the main problem I used to face. People used to ring me up when I was IG, when I was additional DG, when I was DIG. कि सर दिस इज दिस, मैंने कहा अपने इलाके के हल्के के दरोगा को या सिपाही को नहीं बताया. उन्होंने नहीं, सब उनको नहीं बताएंगे, एंड काइंडली डोंट टेल देम आवर नेम आल्सो कि हमने बताया है. तो आपके ऊपर उनको एक कॉन्फिडेंस जब तक नहीं होगा, ये कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डअप करना होगा पुलिस को कि इलाके में कौन कौन बैड एलिमेंट्स हैं और किस किस के अगेंस्ट एक्शन होना है, एंड एक्शन शुड बी टेकन अगेंस्ट दीज पीपल, एंड there should be a change in policing, and it can only take place once vacancies are filled up. People, police force is there in ample numbers, and only then we can introduce it. And there was this reform also that investigation should be handled by different people, and law and order and crime should be handled by different people. It should also be introduced.
Yeah, but that ordinance, as we know, that there is a slugfest, and we're going to soon speak about it between the Delhi government and the centre, as we well know. But you know, Mr. Jain, why is it like I've taken this, you know, when it comes to crime, Delhi is right on top. I face this everywhere. I grew up here, you know, but I'm from Tamil Nadu. But I'm asked all the time, how do you live in Delhi? वहाँ तो बहुत crime होता है, कैसे रहती हैं आप? So tell me something, that this statistic which shows Delhi right on top, very quickly, what is the reason? Is it because of the migrant population, people come here?
Yes.
Is it because people can't be police, so many people? What is the reason, Mr. Jain, that इतनी बदनाम है ये शहर इतना बदनाम है?
There, a lot of migrant population is there. When I was posted in UP, I have been SSP Ghaziabad, I have been SSP Agra, I have been in neighboring places, and we used to pick up so many criminals who are wanted in our cases from Delhi, that we used to send raid parties, and we used to pick up the criminals from there because they are leading a decent life over there. After committing a crime, they will go to Delhi. So naturally, they must be committing crimes in Delhi also. It is not like this that they are silent over there and they have become very, very decent people. So there should be exchange. There should be exchange of information between states, between districts, between various districts of Delhi and neighboring states. All these measures are taken at times, but gradually things have changed now. Policing has changed over a period of time, and we have to go back to the old system.
Right. Khushbu Sundar, I want to ask you, you were born in Mumbai, you worked in Chennai, and now you're in Delhi. You know, you have straddled many worlds of being an actor, of being a politician. You're, of course, a mother, very successful actor as well. You know, what is it about Delhi, you think, when you are discussing cases in NCW as member, do you think there is a special thing about Delhi, that there is something which is wrong? It's the seat of power, Khushbu Sundar. The Prime Minister sits here, What is it?
Sudha, I think Delhi is more in news because this is where the newsmakers are. Simple as that. These kind of crimes happen everywhere. Trust me, you see these kind of crimes happening everywhere. But Delhi is always in news because it's the capital. And this is where people make news out of it. But if you say that Delhi se badnaam hai, nahi, har jagah hota hai. These kind of cases, these are the gruesome murders which come to light. And if this was not caught on CCTV camera, we wouldn't have known about it. This is caught live on a CCTV camera, and that's why we are discussing this. We know how gruesome this murder is. Otherwise, we wouldn't know the cruelty of this length. But I think, because Delhi is the focus, being the capital of the country, it's always right at the top. And yes, that fear has set in for many people that Delhi is not safe for women. I think overall we need to understand that the safety of women all over India and is something that we really need to look into it. We had some terrible cases happening, the same murder cases happening in multiple murder cases happening in Tamil Nadu also. But that's a news for a day and then it goes off. But these kind of gruesome murders which comes to light is there for many days, for a long time, for people to discuss and talk, and we come back to these kind of debates and we keep debating back and forth. Now what is required is more than identifying these kind of, because if you have like the psychiatrist doctor was talking on your show now, one of the panelists here, he was saying that we need to identify these kind of people with personality disorder or these kind of a mindset. The first problem is we are not, as family members, we are not ready to accept that something is wrong with my child. We love to stay and live in denial that छोटी छोटी हरकतें होती हैं, जिद्दीपना होता है. You see a child being extremely adamant or being extremely wild, and then we say, अरे वो तो ठीक हो जाएगा, बचपने में ये सब होता है. We stop identifying these kind of problems and we love to live in denial that everything is well. हाथ को दिल पे रखो and say all is well and everything is fine. We also fear the society that the minute I take my child for a treatment for any kind of anxiety, depression, panic attacks, or these kind of bipolar or these kind of personality disorders, then एक label लग जाएगा कि आपका बेटा और आपका बच्चा पागल है. So they don't want to, even these kind of people who actually have the strength to take the child to the doctors, they said it has to be absolutely hush hush. बाहर पता न लगे वरना उसके ऊपर दिमागी हालत ठीक नहीं है, उसके ऊपर ये आ जाएगा, your child is mentally sick. I mean, it's a sickness which we need a doctor, and we have some specialized doctors to treat this. And if we don't identify it,
I'm sorry to interject, Khushbu, the victim's father is speaking right now. Let's listen in. Oh, I think we've lost connection to that, and let's go back to Khushbu Sundar. Khushbu Sundar, please finish what you were saying. Sorry for having interjected.
So I think we need to understand that we also, घर से शुरुआत होनी चाहिए. We learn to understand and we identify our kids with these kind of problems. And the minute we start understanding and accepting that my child has a problem, then probably we will, and this is not about people, migrants, or from a lower strata or from a rich family. We have seen worst cases happening in bigger places,
of course,
in a high strata societies also. But I think we need to identify at the very first go. You see the difference in your child, you see the behavioral pattern in your child changing. We need to identify and we need to take the first step of taking your child to the doctor and not live in denial that mental health does not exist if it's still in your mind.
Yeah, she says, Khushbu Sundar says, not live in denial. Quickly, Dr. Raheja, if I may ask you, that is this something about Delhi, because we crime rate is very high. We're saying Delhi perhaps dead towards its women. Do you think that there is something very, very insensitive? It has become very insensitive, this city, after what we saw in Shahbad Dairy.
I would like to echo with the sentiment of Ms. Sundar as she was putting it, that more than Delhi, this is a urban phenomena. This
Okay.
is the trait of the emerging society. The milieu is changing.
Right.
We are becoming more and more self-centric, egocentric, and the brazen truth also is that if it's not happening to me, I would rather not intervene in it. And you know, I think also picking up a cue, a very strong message that I want to make is. You know, when a child of the house, usually a daughter of the house, is in a relationship that you don't approve of, it usually becomes an issue of honor, and the family chooses to be in a state of denial.
Right.
They'd rather keep it hush hush, and that is the reason that will not encourage the child to come back and talk to you should the child be
All right.
facing in a relationship. And I
All
think
right.
that communication channel, if it was open, then probably Shraddha wouldn't have happened. Many more such examples that
All
I
right.
was seeing on screen would not have happened. This may not have happened because that first chain of communication starts from home.
Absolutely, and I've completely run
Parents,
out
these
of time.
safeties were available, and not
Yes.
see it as an honor issue. Probably we could
Absolutely.
do.
My thanks are due to Khushbu Sundar. Thank you very much. Also Dr. Raheja, Mr. K Jain and Yogita Bayana. We were wondering if Delhi is dead towards its women. Delhi has to do one thing. अपने दिल और अपनी आत्मा को जगाना पड़ेगा. I'm sure we can do it.